Hi, I'm Dr. Doug Weiss, and today we're going to talk about step 7 for partners of sex addicts. This is really important. If you haven't watched 1 through 6, please go back and do that. This is going to help you as a partner of a sex addict to, again, work the 12 steps of recovery. So stay tuned. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please click that button, do that. Or if you have a question, just put it in the box and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So stay tuned. Welcome back. We're going to do step 7 for partners of sex addicts. And again, if you're a partner, I just want to affirm you that this is an incredible journey. If you've gotten this far, I am so proud of you and the work you're doing, regardless of what your spouse or your partner does. The fact that you're doing your work, I just want to give you an applause for that. So thank you. Now we're going to talk about step 7. So let me go ahead and read step 7. Step 7. Humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. Now, this is a short step, but it's powerful. You know, when you get to step 5, you cleaned out your closet, you told somebody, you told God, another person, everything that you felt that was going on with you, your history, all that. But now we're at a new phase. Step 7 is humbly asking Him to remove our shortcomings. So humbly, I want to talk about that word humbly. Because some people in recovery, they kind of take the steps very lightly. Like, well, I'm going to get my little list and I'm going to talk to God and say, God, it'd be really nice if you would remove my patience or my, overeating or the way I compare myself to other women or, my bad attitude towards my sisters or whatever it is that you have that's going on with you. And, I said the little prayer and, God's got it. No, this is not what this is. Step 7 is putting yourself at the mercy of the Almighty. It is humbly asking Him in a way that if you don't get your way, okay, like I have to have this removed, Jesus. I have to have this removed, God. I have to have this removed. This is killing me. This is like if you had AIDS or some other catastrophic disease. And the only way you were going to get healed is if you were able to convince God that you needed to be healed, to cry out to God, to ask God, to say, God, I need you. I'm humbly asking. I'm asking from the core of my being. I need freedom. I need healing. I need deliverance from this attribute in my life, this shortcoming. And these shortcomings, they might be all kinds of stuff, but humbly is the position. And that's why when I'm working with someone on steps, this is something, maybe you have 12, 13, 14, maybe you have 25 of these. I say only do 1 a day. Because if you're really crying out to God, you are using a lot of spiritual, emotional, and physical energy. And you are concentrating. You are not going, well, let's just talk about this, God. No, you're begging God. God, I have to have this. It's coming from a place of total emptiness on your side and asking for His fullness to come in to this situation. You're humbly asking, okay? So you're humbly asking Him. Him is God. It's not higher power. It's not your group. It's not any of those things. We clarified that concept early on. This is God. You are humbly asking God. And what are you asking Him to do? You're asking Him to remove our shortcomings. Now, remove is a process. I wish I could tell you when I was sitting in New Mexico in a hotel room, when I was crying out to God over my character defects. I still have them listed somewhere in one of my files, okay? I've kept that. And I really cried out to God. I'd like to say I walked out of that room and they were all gone. My wife would love if that would have happened, okay? They weren't all gone, but there was a willingness for them to be gone. And that started a process. And God decides the order in which He's going to help me. He decides to send me information, materials, people that can sometimes either mirror what I'm doing and how painful it is, or other ways of showing me that, hey, this really needs to be addressed. Now, as a recovering person, I can use my own tools. I can make it part of my accountability. I can make it part of my check-in. I can focus on this for, X amount of weeks until I see it kind of removing, going away. You can definitely cooperate, okay? But God's gonna help remove these shortcomings. Now, what's a shortcoming? That's a really tricky question, because we actually like some of our personality that are shortcomings. Some of us actually gloat in being late. Some of us actually rejoice in some kind of impatience. Some of us celebrate our indulgent nature. Some of us think that we're being so smart when we're being critical. So sometimes we have either, let's say, adopted, or we embrace our shortcomings. And so a shortcoming is something you probably have awareness that you do or that you don't do. Because if you're a partner of an addict, you might also be a partner of an intimacy anorexic, and not doing is just as painful. And so there are things that you do or don't do that aren't exactly right. And you get this little check inside your heart or your spirit that says, that wasn't the best idea. The way you responded, the way you kind of don't take responsibility for your own stuff, the way you keep blaming your spouse for why you don't have any economic resources, or why you don't take responsibility for your gifts, why you hide behind things instead of taking on life and contributing. Well, those could be shortcomings for some people. For some, they're overworking, they're overcompensating, they're overdoing stuff, and they have their own side. So this is going to be difficult, but you want to make a list of these shortcomings, and you really want to humbly ask God. And I mean, get in there with Him, wrestle with Him, beg Him to remove these shortcomings. And if you do this, you're going to be doing step 7. Now, if you got the Partners Recovery, the book, the 12 steps to Beyond Love, you are going to be able to magnificently do this. If you have the Partner Child Trauma Step book, you can do this as well. And you want to read your step to your group, get your feedback, do everything that you're supposed to do on this, and you can actually feel really good about that. I did my step 7 more than 25 years ago, and I still remember the room and the place. That's the kind of experience you can have if you really do step 7. Now, if you have yet to subscribe, please do, because the rest of the steps are going to be coming and you'll be notified as soon as they come out. And if you have a question, put it in the box. We will get back to you as soon as possible. So I want to encourage you, do your step 7 and do it as soon as possible.